All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to integrate Smarter Contact to your FlipPilot CRM. FlipPilot is another great CRM out there that was made specifically for real estate investors. And in this one, I'm going to show you exactly how to integrate it via Zapier. So that way you can push your leads over to your FlipPilot to be able to obviously have your new leads show up here, but then also to create your automations and your automated triggers to put them in certain follow-up campaigns or to notify yourself. So how we're going to integrate the two is by using Zapier, but also by using a thing called webhook inside of Zapier. And I'm going to show you how. Obviously in Smarter Contact, come to your settings and click on API, and then click on Create New, and then head to Zapier. Make sure you are logged into Zapier when you are doing this. See, I'm already logged in on another tab over here. Once you come here, just go ahead and click on the blue button that says Connect to 2,000 plus apps. And it'll automatically start creating a Zap for you. First thing first, I always like to go in the top left corner and make sure I give it a name so I don't forget what it's for. And then I'm going to walk through the regular steps. Obviously, our app is Smarter Contact. Trigger event, there's only one event at the moment, and that's export a contact. Click Continue, and then make sure you click on your account. If this is the first time you're doing this, you'll click on Connect a New Account, and basically a pop-up box will just kind of pop up, and it'll basically look like the login page of Smarter Contact. And so you just basically log in, and then it'll automatically connect to your account. Then you just click Continue. And then for title, you can give it any title that you want it. I'm just going to put new lead for this example. Once you just give it a title, click Continue. And then just click on Test Trigger. And we can see if it says we found an export contact, and you see dummy data, we call it dummy data right here, then it definitely worked. We got export contact A. Click on the blue button, Continue. And then next, you're going to hit, don't hit close, because now we need to connect it to FlipPilot. So you're going to click on this blue plus button, and now we got to basically connected to FlipPilot. So FlipPilot does not have a Zapier, its own Zapier app yet. What it uses is called a webhook. So basically what you do is you just type for webhook. It's called Webhooks by Zapier. Basically that is the app that's going to connect to FlipPilot. And then for action event, you got 4 different events. You will want to use post. Fire off a single post, request as a form, or JSON. Make sure it's a post because we are posting something. The way I like to remember it, it's easy for you guys to remember, is like, let's say I have a lead, I'm going to put it on a post-it note and I'm posting it on the board of leads. So get is like I'm getting something, post is I'm putting it, or posting on the board, placing the lead somewhere else. So I'm going to be using post. Click on that, click Continue, and then right away it's going to ask for a URL. So now we need to come over to FlipPilot. If you're logged into FlipPilot, what you need to do is come here to the top where you see the 3 dots, and then you want to click on Webhooks. And then we're going to click on the blue sign that says Webhook, and we're going to give it a label. Obviously, we're connecting Smarter Contact to it, so we'll call it Smarter Contact. And then you can even attach a campaign to it. I kind of created a campaign called Smarter Contact in here, so I'm going to kind of just connect it to Smarter Contact. If you're wondering what is a campaign, do I need to connect a campaign? You do not need to connect a campaign to it, but if you are watching this, obviously you're using FlipPilot, I would highly recommend checking out FlipPilot's tutorial videos to learn how to create multiple campaigns. The reason you would create a campaign is so that you can track your numbers, which means you can track the amount of leads that are coming in, track the amount of deals. Basically allows you to track your KPIs. That's the cool thing about FlipPilot, is I can create a campaign called my SMS campaign, attach it to my integration, Smarter Contact integration. So that way it actually keeps tracks of the amount of times, every time I zap over a lead, FlipPilot is tracking that as a lead. So that way every month I can see how many leads came into my CRM, how many of those leads were hot, warm, cold, how many of those leads became dead, how many of those leads became a deal, all that stuff. So I won't get into that much, but I would recommend checking out FlipPilot and learning how they create the different campaigns. So I'm gonna go ahead and click create and view. We're gonna get this box right here. And then as you can see right away, top left, there is a URL right here. And there's gonna be a little kind of box right here next to it. I'm gonna click that because it'll go ahead and copy that URL for me. Then I'm gonna head back to Zapier. And right here at the top where it says URL, I'm gonna go ahead and paste that URL. And there is literally nothing else you need to do. It looks intimidating. It looks like there's a lot of box. You don't need to do anything else. All we need to do was put that URL right there at the top. Scroll down, click continue. And then I'm going to go down and click test and review. And then when I'm going to come back over here to FlipPilot, I'm actually going to click save and exit in the bottom right hand corner. Just exit out. I'm actually going to hit the refresh button. And as you can see, we got a record already. I'm going to click on Manage Webhook and go back to it. If we come here to the top right, we see Recent Submissions. This actually shows us the most recent lead that came over through the integration. So we can see that it actually worked. So I'm going to click on that. Once I click on the lead, it highlights in blue. I'm going to scroll down. Now we have to map the fields, right? Because over here in Smarter Contact pushes certain fields over into our CRM, like the email, first name, last name, phone number, mailing address, all that other stuff. So basically we just have to match, just kind of like you do in the skip tracing field, right? We match the first name to first name, last name, last name. It's the same concept of what we have to do over here between Smarter Contact and FlipPilot. So there's a lot of different fields, and I'm just gonna take note of this right now, sidestep. If you do not see a field, right, we see over here on the left, we see AC, air condition, asking price, bath, bed, campaign name, email. If FlipPilot, when we click on the box, if you do not see the right field to match it, but you want it, you will then need to create that custom field. So I'm gonna exit out real quick to show you. So if you come here in the top right of FlipPilot, click on that, you see custom field, you click on that. That means you can now create a custom field within a contact in the FlipPilot CRM, so that way you can match that field. But that little side note just for the year, so if there's like a piece of information that Smarter Contact does give, like let's say the Zillow estimate, you will need to come over and create that custom field so that you can then match it, and then FlipPilot will then receive the Zillow estimate that Smarter Contact is sending over with the lead. But real quick, I'm just going to kind of go through and do it. I'm not going to do all the fields because it does have most of the fields, but for time's sake, I'm not going to do it all for you guys. But you would just basically come down and match it. So right, we got asking price. So we can scroll down and look for the asking price, lead info asking price. Bath 2, bed 3, they do have that, but for time's sake, I'm just going to keep going through. We got email, contact email address, first name. Let's see, we got garage, grade, last name. I'll put last name. Again, all this stuff you can match inside of FlipPilot, but just for time's sake, I'm just going to quickly do it just so I can show you guys actually how to integrate it. So now we got mailing address, which would be actually contact address inside of FlipPilot here. Mailing city will be contact city. Mailing state will be contact state in FlipPilot, and then mailing zip code, and then we got contact zip code. Notes, you will need to create that custom field of notes inside of FlipPilot to match that. Offer, they have that as well too. Outgoing phone number is the phone number that you use inside of Smart Contact, so don't match that. Don't get that confused. Don't get outgoing phone confused with phone. Phone is your actual lead or your homeowner lead phone number. Outgoing phone is the phone that you're using inside of inside of Smarter Contact. So I'm gonna match phone with phone 1. Now we got property address, property street address, property city, property state, and then property zip code. And again, the rest of the stuff you can match over, but for time's sake, I'm not going to. Now I'm just gonna hit save and exit. And then once I come out, I'm actually gonna come back in here, and then there's gonna be this button right here. There's two toggles buttons, but you want to do the second one where it says active status. Flip that to where it says blue. Hit save and exit. Hit that refresh button. And then now we can see right here, it says active. So now I'm going to come back over. I'm going to click on my pipeline. I'm going to come back over to Zapier. And I'm actually going to hit retest action again. All right, it says test was successful. I'm going to come back to FlipPilot. And as we can see, my lead just popped up right here. I'm going to click on that. See, and we got all the information. I know it came from the Smarter Contact campaign. I got all the address because obviously it quickly found it in Google right there for me. And I got all the contact information, first name, last name, phone number, email, street address, property address. And again, guys, you can create more custom fields and match those fields with the given data that Smarter Contact allows. And then basically come back to Zapier. Make sure you turn your Zap on. I'll just go ahead and just do that. And real quick, it is a premium app, webhooks. So you will need to upgrade your Zapier account, which is just a little extra a month for that. But it's not too much. It won't break your bank, guys. It's definitely worth the upgrade, especially for sure. But that is basically it. Make sure you label your Zap in there. You are upgraded to Zapier Premium. And yeah, that is basically it. That is how you integrate Smarter Contact to FlipPilot via Zapier and Webhook.